So I was thinking about this the other day. What would the top 10 Bimmy moments be? You know, the real retarded, like, what the fuck are you doing or thinking moments that James has had over the recent years. You know, so this is a countdown to the number 1 Bimmy moments. Number 10. So a lot of people thought this might have been higher on the list, but do you remember when James Rolfe thought he was speaking to Steven Spielberg? And he thought it was Steven Spielberg because the guy liked Zorro, and he was called Zorro fan, and Steven Spielberg likes Zorro, and somehow James correlated those two things together to think that was Steven Spielberg. Come on, James. Like, and then he asks him, "Are you Steven Spielberg?" And the guy says, "Yes, certainly." And that's good enough for James. If it's good enough for James, it's good enough for me.
Like I got a response that just said, "Yes, certainly." But there's something about it that just felt kind of credible. Like, I mean, there's a million things it could have been, but
that was number 10. Let's go to number 9. Number 9 for me is when James is showing off his behind-the-scenes video, and he shows off his desk that he still uses from when he was a child. And he's doing some work around it, and he needs to put some power connectors and all those cables through to his computer. And he's trying to drill a hole through this tough 80s wood desk, and he just attacks it, really. He should have used a drill bit or a drill guide. You know, these things you can get at like B&Q, or I don't know what the American equivalent is, but it really isn't that hard. And he just makes this god-awful hole. And because of that, Micro Mike now lives in there. But yeah, that was number 9.
I had to drill a hole in it, which was surprisingly difficult. This was some really tough 80s wood.
Number 8. I was debating whether to throw this in or not, but number 8 is Rex Viper. It's just so bad. There's so many other bands that do this kind of shtick better. And he went about it the wrong way. He should have hired Bootsy and Kyle, and he could have played the songs from the AVGen game, the AVGen theme, Ball James, you know, Tornado Rex, all that stuff. Nobody wants to hear the fucking you know, and that fucking singer, man, he is so bad. So bad. Yeah, so that's number 8. Let's go to the next one. Number 7. So number 7 is when James is climbing that mountain. I was about to say mountain. God, you can really pick up some bad habits from watching these movies. But yeah, so when he was doing that video on behind the scenes and the locations of Rocky IV, he decides to climb that mountain with that guy, and there's a bit when they're traversing, they're hiking, and James picks up these 2 little twigs, and he's using that as a guide to help him climb up that mountain, and it's just like, at first they're not even touching the ground. And then, like, what kind of support are they giving you? They're going to snap with an arse bit of strength. I don't even think a kid would do that. That's a real Bimmy moment, and maybe that should be higher up. But yeah, that was what number are we on? Oh fuck it, I forgot. What number? Number 6. Number 6 is when James and Mike are trying to capture game footage for a month for the AVGN Games episode. And they couldn't figure that shit out, and James is saying he's tried fraps, he's tried this, and nothing's working. And yeah, I think they had to get a new computer in the end. It's like, this is AVGN, man. This is the guy that, you know, catches video games footage, and you should know a bit better. But yeah, a month trying to do that. I can just imagine Mike trying to slave away at a month and just trying to record a fucking Flash game. But yeah, am I being harsh here? Is it really that hard to capture back in like 2010, 2011? There was fraps, and was OBS there at the time? I don't remember. There was something else. Hypercam software, you know, all that shit. Even if they did that, but yeah, there you go.
How to get the game footage off the PC so that we could edit it on our Mac so that we could make the video. So he spent probably a month working out all these technical bugs.
Number 5. It's Rex Viper. It's going in again. Number 4. So James gets kicked out of college because he participated in a college party which got out of hand and people trashed the dorm room and property was damaged. And he got kicked out by the dean, and he said that he didn't do anything. All he was doing was recording. But you can hear him egging people on, and people show for the camera back then, especially in the 90s, where you kind of like it invigorates you to like show off in front of the camera, And so James is writing to his dean and to the college board to say that he wants to be reinstated. And his mum's getting annoyed with him because he's saying, you're sounding angry in the letter, just apologise. And James is saying, apologise for what? Being a filmmaker? Just that fucking the ego, man, and the right just to say that. Being a filmmaker. James, you fucked up. Just admit you fucked up, man. We've done shit like that.
Whenever I tried to write anything, it came off as angry. My mom kept stopping me, saying to just apologize. Apologize for what? Apologize for being a filmmaker?
But apologise for being a filmmaker? I was just recording a documentary. It's because of you. You probably got other people kicked out of college because they saw the tape. So you're the worst part of it, man. And I like James. Anyway, number 3. Ooh, number 3. Why did I come out? Number 3. That's better. So during the AVGN behind the scenes video, I think it's 2021, 2022. I should look this up, but I can't be arsed. He's complaining about him not having help. And there's a scene when he's tied himself up for the Shrek AVGN video. And then you can see him getting frustrated because he's tying himself up. He's got an onion that keeps falling out of his mouth. And he's actually showing real rage here that he should show in the AVGN films. But it's just the whole scene and the whole vibe of James getting mad because an onion keeps dropping from his mouth. It's just like something out of The Office. Like a Ricky Gervais bit. But it's like the onion keeps rolling away. Oh God, I've got no help. Fucking hell.
If anyone wants to know why it's harder to film alone, here's one example. From the Shrek episode, I had to tie myself in a chair with an onion in my mouth. That would be a really funny thing to walk in on, wouldn't it? And anytime it would fall, well, I had to untie myself and start all over. Jesus Christ. Fuck! There goes the onion. Fucking shit!
Number 2. Number 2 is the mismanagement of funds with the AVGN film. So he raised quite a bit of money, but because he decided to film in LA, hire these, C-list actors, get imported help. Like this, the half of the budget was just wasted on fucking taxes and shit. And it's such a Bimmy thing to do. This is a man that should not be in control of the money. He's a great creative minds, but he shouldn't be controlling any finance situation. And one of the reasons he wanted to film in LA is because real films are shot in LA. That's what he said. And what a real retarded Bimmy thing to say. And the goal was originally just to raise $75,000. So it's a good thing they did raise more, because had he just raised $75K and shot the same thing, I couldn't imagine how bad it would have turned out. It was already shit. The AVGN film is like one of the worst films I've ever seen, and I'm not just saying that because I run an AVGN hate channel. I'm a fan, believe it or not, or else I wouldn't spend my time doing this. I am a fan. I am jaded with the current content, but I enjoy all things, or before a certain date, I enjoy all things Cinemassacre, and it's really got me into content creating myself, so I'm not just saying it because I hate him, but it's, he should have got somebody to do a bit more research before he decided to get into filming in LA, because that's not a good reason. Oh, films are shot in LA, That means I've got to do it. Come on, James, you know. I reckon he would have did better just filming an episode at home. So anyway, number 1. Alright, number 1 is just... This is against the Geneva Convention. Number 1 is so idiotic and such a Bimmy thing to do. It's almost like it's a truth meme that someone's just made up. But this is coming from James's mouth. So he can't get his music working in his car. He's got an old car with a cassette player, and he's having issues playing the music from his iPod to his car. He's tried a transmitter, but it's coming out poorly, and his solution to fix all this is, I'm just going to buy a new car. Instead of replacing the stereo or trying a different transmitter or a different frequency or even a different cable, you know, I'm just going to buy a new car. And it's like, what the fuck, James? This is... He's got like such a convoluted way of doing things, and the way he does the, you know, you got your plan A, plan B, plan C. James goes from plan A to plan Z, like the last thing that you would ever do. Who buys a new car just so you could play your music on it? Why don't you fucking, if you can't replace the stereo yourself, just fucking take it to the garage and get someone to do it for you, or a buddy. You know, it's not that hard. Just watch a YouTube tutorial. I've done it with my Ford Fiesta back in like 2012, something like that. But yeah, he decides just to buy a new car to play his music through the stereo, because I can't even, you know, explain myself. I can't explain this. This is... thanks for watching. That was number 1.
So I ended up buying an older car with a cassette deck just so I could use a cassette adapter to play my damn iPod. And now cars all have auxiliary input, USB, and even Bluetooth, which is amazing. Now I just play the music wirelessly from my phone. Also, what do you guys think? What's in your top 10? Like, what would your number 1 be? Like the most retarded thing? I'm not saying like the worst thing he's done, just like the stupidest, retardest, the bimmiest thing he's done. You know, what would it be? All right, thanks.